Welcome back to another episode of Resilient and Rowdy. This is your host, Jess. This is my first YouTube video, so also, my friends TMR and Topher just made #1 on the Billboard charts as independent artists. So, I had to get my friend TMR on here and just hype him up, give him a congrats, and also I just kind of wanted to ask them like how the journey has been, what they're up to next, and how they've stayed so resilient despite everything happening. So stay tuned, check them out, follow all of their socials, check out their merch, check out their songs. Support small businesses, support small creators, independent creators. Anywho, after you do that, stay tuned for the Marine Rappers The Culture War coming out and Topher's No Circle Back coming out as well this month. I'm just going to wrap it up there, and I hope you enjoy the interview. So, hey, Rainy. So Topher, what I was telling Ray earlier is like, I know y'all have had, so much coverage. So if there's anything that you haven't said, like just, this is just like free reign to just like, say whatever you feel. But I obviously had to have y'all on because one, I haven't caught up with Ray in a minute, but two, what y'all have done is just outstanding. And then the fact that y'all have been, tried to be silenced, sorry, is just ridiculous. And what I was telling Ray was just like, immediately what my first thought was, it was just like, y'all are dangerous because of how much unity you're bringing. And by, dangerous, I mean that in the sense of like what society is trying to perpetuate. I just want to talk about y'all, want to talk about whatever else you want to talk about, and, censorship. So this is kind of like your time to like just say whatever.
Dope. So I just want to school everybody up on everything and like connect the dots for both of you. So basically, Topher, I know Jess, I go way back. it's kind of crazy how we met, but we met through a mutual person. But we met like in person in House of Blues and stuff like that, and then we just kind of like fostered a relationship past that point, and now she's one of my like greatest friends because she's just a real person, and she's been on a lot of the suicide prevention marathons and things like that. And she's come to my rescue a lot on those suicide prevention marathons, just being her and just providing a great light from her perspective. And that's why I have so much respect for her, because she always keeps it 100. She always keeps it real. So that's how I know Jess. And she has this podcast, and she's just a great person in general. Like, I don't like to even give her a title. She's just a great person to me. Like, and so like when I look to a real one, I look to somebody like Jess. So, and Topher, I know Topher because I've known him for years, collaborated with him. I know you guys Jess, you probably seen like videos and stuff with me and him, but I've known him for years. And then we connected again after years on this Patriot track, and group called Space Force. So me and Topher and the other rapper named DK, the big tall dude with the beard, we're in a group called Space Force. We're all veterans, and we talk about space stuff, all family friendly type of stuff. When me and Topher got together with the Patriot, it's more on real life social commentary type of thing. And so we made the Patriot. Once we made the Patriot, Topher made the Patriot, and he came to me and was like, yo, I need you to hop on this track. I was like, yeah, I got you. Just do some patriotic vibes. We did it. We finished it all in like 3 days. Topher did most of the work. He'll go into that, but we finished it in 3 days, and we put it up, and everything was going well until our distributor pulled it. When they pulled it, then we hit the grassroots approach. That's why you see memes of us like outside of the trunk passing out CDs. It's like
back in the day. Yep.
Back in the day type of stuff. So that's why you saw that, because we just adapted and overcome, because the military taught us to do that. And then we went through a different distributor. Topher can go into that. We went through a different distributor. Once we did that, we're able to climb the charts once again, not only to #1 on iTunes, but #1 on Billboard. And Billboard is like the industry authority. You can't go higher than that. The only other thing we could do is like get a Grammy. Like that's the only other thing we could do. So we're the #1 rap song in the country without cussing, swearing, kids singing to it, everybody working out to it. You saw the videos, you know what I mean? So that's the update. So you are literally the first interview since that point of us hitting Billboard #1. So you are the one. Yeah.
Oh, bitch, I love you. Oh my God. Okay, so wait, did y'all meet in the Marine Corps then? Because I did see that story. It's like y'all both had this dream back in the day to like rap, create. Sorry, that sounds really cheesy. But and then y'all reconnected and then collaborated on this, and both of y'all are pursuing your dreams. Like you're not letting that your military background dictate what you can and can't do. You're breaking that threshold, and you're like, this is what sets my soul and my heart on fire, and this is what we want to do. And I'm glad that you mentioned that it was without curse words, without violence, and the music video, I finally put it on like repeat on YouTube, but it's normal people, everyday people of every color. And so again, it's just, I think the unity is what might have scared them, or they don't want to perpetuate or, you know, amplify, which really baffles me because we need that unity right now. I'm tired. We're tired of black versus white. It's just, no, it should be, we are the human race. So
exactly.
Topher, I'm super excited to hear you talk. So
just one more thing, just one more note.
Sorry.
Topher's Air Force, I'm Marine Corps. I met him so that's important. So he's Air Force and I'm Marine Corps, and I met him online through music interaction. So that we first met online.
Okay, so that's my mistake then. Okay, Air Force, hello, very cool, very cool. Topher, tell us about you. Like, I want to hear about you. What's your name? What's your number?
Who you with? Look, so I'm Topher, 6-year active duty Air Force veteran, conservative TikTok star and political pundit. I'm currently residing in Mississippi. I was born and raised here most of my life. And, you know, I'm married, got 2 beautiful daughters. And just been doing hip hop and writing music for almost 20 years now. I still have videos when I was, you know, in my teenage years, trying to hit the stage at, you know, I think, what you just call it, talent shows. And I think we had the Showtime at Apollo events we had locally, you know.
Yeah, like at the mall and stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I did all of that. All the things that, you know, really wasn't going to do nothing for me, but those experiences still gave me the skills necessary to perform and continue on. So I've tried everything, you know, and I always tell people, you know, Mississippi, we don't really have a hip hop scene. So I really didn't have a mentor, anyone to guide me throughout this process. So a lot of what I know and do now is self-taught and learned from others like, you know, Timmer and DK and things like that, you know, just listening to MCs and the skills that they use when they create songs and write lyrics, you know, I just kind of been leeching off that. But other than that, you know, just straight out the mud, you know.
That's awesome. And I think that's like, again, just like inspiring because like, real talk, most people make fun of those people. You know, back in the day, you're like, oh, what's his face wants to be a rapper or like a singer. And like, you make fun of them. And instead of supporting them, you know, you're immediately like, you know, throwing them under the bus without giving them any credit. You're not watching them. You're not amplifying that voice. It's like, it takes a lot of bravery to even do that. So I like that you said that like, basically you had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, you still get that experience. You get, you know, just, I guess, like what's the word I'm trying to use?
Exposure.
Yeah, the exposure. You're putting your face out there, and like, and that for a lot of people is intimidating, and that's where a lot of the shade and the hate can come from. But despite that, like, I guess, like, what has kept y'all like pushing? Like, trust me, I'm sure that y'all have seen so many doors, windows just shut, just like, or leading you to another person. So like Topher, you mentioned like community, like you learn from the people that you like grew up with, worked with, etc. So honestly, like most people would have probably given up or just been like, what can you do? But y'all have this drive that I want to know about.
Well, I'll start it off. We'll do the back and forth type of thing. I'll start it off. For me, there's multitude of reasons. Legacy, also the fact that I feel that I'm here because there were some really good Marines, really good troops overseas that died trying to keep me alive. And I'm here for a reason, and I have to carry on those stories. And I know I'm that mouthpiece. I wasn't definitely like the hardcore hero or anything like that, but those guys were. So I have to keep on telling their stories. So that's motivation for me. And then like another motivation is like, I literally will go back and listen to my old raps, and I'll be like, wow, that young kid was hungry, man. Like, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? How am I gonna let this slip from my fingers? You know what I mean? And then also more recently, a lot of the kids like a lot of the kids like rapping your verses, and we had a whole bunch of kids starting to rap our verses and stuff, and dance to it, and all types of cool stuff people have been doing and talking about how much of an inspiration we are. So we feed off of that positive energy too. So
Yeah.
it would be those couple of things for me, because that is what means the most. Not necessarily selfish reasons; it's actually for other people and the great energy that I have for coming from other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, kind of the same lane, but the reason why I'm not giving up because I already given up before. I actually stopped rapping for about 2 years because I felt that that's not the path God wanted me to go down. Right? I'm always big on doing what I'm designed to do, doing what I'm here to do on Earth, and I wasn't seeing much success. Right? Because once again, I was trying to do it without cussing, doing it without making any type of twerk music, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody was really looking at me, taking me serious, but I was still making music, and therefore I just like, well, maybe this ain't what he want me to be. Then I went to join the military, and my teacher. So we had so I'm a cryptologic language analyst. So I
Very
was at
cool.
my language school, and I was there for a year, and we kind of introduce ourselves in our language. So you kind of give a backstory, and I showed them that I did music, and everybody in the room was left silent. They was like, "Whoa, bro! Like, well, what are you doing here? Like, your music's dope." And I'm just like, man, I don't think God want me to do it. If it's that dope, then why haven't I seen the success? But during that time, my teacher kind of encouraged me to pick it back up. And I kind of made this agreement with God. If this is what you want me to do, then when I move to my duty station, then you're going to surround me with the people without me doing anything that's going to get me back involved in music. And I kid you not, that's exactly what happened. So I said, well, I have no doubt now. So I'm going to continue on this path no matter what. And on top of that, I've always wanted to be coming from nothing. You always want to know, you don't want that to be for your kids. You don't want that to be your legacy. So I
Yeah.
always wanted to strive for something great. Like I said, coming from a small town, population maybe 700, 800 people, graduation class of 22, you don't have many successful people like superstars or athletes that go on to the NFL. You just don't have much there. And I wanted to create something that can be inspiring even for the people back home. So that's why I kept going. I was like, nah, I got to do this for the next generation. And when I'm walking in my gift, it also unlocks or allows others to walk in their gift. Because I'm making this type of music, now they can do other patriotic things, which we've seen with the videos, right? We've seen kids come out, start rapping. We've seen people do makeup videos.
Mhm.
We've seen people do, workout. They back in the gym because of our music. So a lot of what we're doing is also allowing others to do what they are supposed to do as well.
Wow, that's fucking beautiful. Um, so Topher, I'm gonna just ask you, like, why do you think, was it because you were going so against the grain and so, in a different direction than other like black rappers and creators? Is that why you feel like you weren't getting the attention, like your talents weren't getting that attention because it had no curse words, no, explicitives, nudity or anything like that? And I really appreciate you doing something different because, as much as I love music of all types, you have a specific niche and specific talent, and that's what you're running with. And every creation is beautiful. Um, and I think you both have kids, so like, I mean, that's even better if you're making like a good example for kids and everyone to just jam out to. But I mean, that's really disappointing to hear because you would think society wants more of that. It's like, oh, hey, here's a rapper who's creating, who's wholesome, conservative, no curse words, no nudity. Then like, why the fuck? It doesn't make sense. But I feel like I'm frustrated for you. I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean you don't want this new kind of rapper? Like, they complain about, like Ray was saying earlier, like they complain about our children listening to WAP and whatever else, but then they won't amplify certain voices or creators. So that's just like, I'm frustrated and I want to show that frustration because it's like you try to give society what they, you think you want, or something that you created that is from the heart, that is wholesome, that is good. And then there's like, nah, go. So, but what I'm still hearing is just this consistency, this legacy, just being more than what you are now. So since you both have like children, and then now like this community of creating, and then like setting this example, and I mean the good vibes from that community, like what are your goals with doing this, like showing, people that they can do anything, like again, like Topher, that must have been really difficult. I used to be very religious, and I know sometimes when you just don't get those messages, or that the guideship that you want, from your relationship with the Lord, you can feel like alone. So what were you doing during those 2 years? You said like you were in school at the time, but were you creating anything else, or were you just kind of like, nah, let me put this down and let me work on another thing? Like, was
Um,
that
it was almost like cold turkey, right?
okay?
Either I'm 100% or I'm none. That's just kind
Okay.
of how I am. And so I was like, nope, I don't think this is what I'm meant to do. So I just dropped it completely. I didn't practice. I didn't
Yeah.
write, period. I just focused on my studies.
Yeah.
Just focused on my career in the Air Force, which I excelled at. I got plenty of awards on my training time. And I even got airman below the zone, which is very rare to get. So which
Yeah.
means pretty much it's just they award you your senior airman rank 6 months before everybody else. I grew close to the guy, but I also learned to lean on others because sometimes people can see something in you that you typically don't see in yourself, and
Okay.
allowing that type of prophecy or prophetic language or speak come into your life and actually assess it was pretty good. I think the main turning point was when we were at every year we have a language day, and the language day is when all the classes get together and we all put on a performance in our culture and our native language we're learning. And ours was Hebrew. So my teacher, there's Israeli rappers. So my teacher wanted me to rap in Hebrew. First of all, I'm putting you think it's easy, but they're really rapping over there. I'm gonna put it like that. So I was like, I might not can do what they're doing. Can I write my own rap and then rap it? And then she said, of course. And it actually ended up being pretty good. And I performed it, but just to see so many people move and like jump around when I started to perform was kind of like eye opening. It said they didn't even understand the word I was saying, of course, but they were hyped. And that showed me the power of music, which I've known for the longest, is that you can portray emotions or infuse emotions into your lyrics, into your performance that transcends culture and languages across the world. So I was like, all right, so there's something here, right? Obviously I have something, and I said I got to tap back into it. But yeah, just going on that path and continuing to want to inspire others is kind of what I want to do going forward. And like you said, rather than getting everybody else on board, I talk about other independent artists as well. And what we're doing, regardless of politics, we're still independent artists. So a win for what we're doing, a victory for us, is still a victory for independent artists across the board. I remember when Chance the Rapper was winning Grammys, right? And I was just like, that's a win for us. I wasn't thinking like, oh, that's a win for, you know, a conservative or a win for that person. Like that's a win for independent artists. So what we're doing is what I'm trying to show the world. You got people like Tom McDonald and others that we're literally on Billboard, topping Billboard, and a lot of the typical hip hop avenues still haven't reached out or said anything about it. They haven't even name dropped us. So that shows you that there's a system in place, an artificial system in place that wants to maintain power and control of the industry and culture. And anybody that's operating outside of that are considered the enemy.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Is there anything that you want to touch on, Ray, before I ask the next question? Because I was gonna ask like why did y'all choose to be independent? Like I only know so much about music, so just bear with me.
Well, oh, no, it's all good. I mean, it's like any craft. You can be an independent author, independent podcaster,
Okay.
independent. You know what I mean? Independent nurse. You can do all types of independent stuff. Um,
Mhm.
we chose to. I'll speak for myself. I chose to be independent because I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years as a combat correspondent with infantry. So they were telling me what to do all the time because they're like, we don't care if you're a camera guy. You're with the infantry now. You're gonna police call. You're gonna pick up bullets. You're gonna clean the porta johns. I was trying to figure out the actual like cleaner term for it. You're gonna clean out the porta johns. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna clean out the porta johns. You're gonna do all this trash duty and all types of stuff like that. So after I got out of the Marine Corps, I'm like, I'm never working for anybody ever again. Like I was like, I'm like, never, no. Like, and I did for a little bit, like working at Taco Bell as a rapper. But then after I got my stuff together, then I was like, okay, cool. I can just literally be a rapper. Like I was rapping tacos, and now I'm actually a rapper. But like, it was just a thing that I just didn't want to work for other people, because when I think about, Black excellence and empowering and uplifting Black voices, I start at number one, and then my family, and then I take care of my family, my mom, my brother, my sister. Hey, are they good? Okay, how's my daughter? How's everything going? Like my family, my parental and unit and all stuff like that. That's taking care of, like, your Black community, and that's Black Lives Matter to me. You know what I mean? Not the organization, so to speak, but just like that means so much to me. And if I can get to a point where I can be independent and show them that I did it, then I feel like that's an example that I'm setting that makes them more empowered to be even better than me in the future. So I feel like it's bigger than me to be independent. It's not only because I never want to have a job again, it's because I never want the rest is history on that. But
wait, so
we're also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was good. Let me give you the summary, and then I'll go into that. But we're also into my daughter to have a job again.
I think that's where like a lot of us are feeling, a lot of creators, you don't want to be tied down and limited. And also, like, as you mentioned, just setting that example for your daughter, the fact that you don't want her to work. I mean, shit, you want to adopt her. Is there anything that you wanted to add, Topher?
No, he wrapped it up all nice. I feel that Taco Bell experience kicking in at the end there. So nice little wrap at the end.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you ever told me that you used to wrap tacos at Taco Bell. Fuck yeah.
For real. So I went to wrapping up shells to shells, then a wrapper.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's no shame in it. I just like, I really appreciate and can see both of y'all's like work ethic, and that's something to really admire. And again, just like it may be.
As you say that, I also want to caveat with that, like, if you're listening out there, there's no problem and there is no shame in having any type of job. If you are unemployed, working at fast food, working at retail, all that type of stuff is honorable because you have a job. Like, so like if you're out there and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to work this because I think somebody's going to make fun of me or whatever, but at least you have a job, you know what I mean? So like, I don't think there's any shame in actually working in fast food or working at any of these other places. Topher, he actually did some really hard manual labor in his time, stuff like that. He worked at the oil rig and stuff like that.
Anyways, no, yeah, I'm really glad that you said that because, while a lot of us are creating or trying to make something of ourselves, that, get out after the military and you don't have like a designated sector to go into, I think veterans and like military people like do shame each other and kind of make fun of each other, like for God knows what. But the fact is, hey, you're out there, you're grinding and you're doing like something that sets your soul on fire. Like we should be amplifying and egging them on instead of like, talking smack. But I don't know. That's just me arguing against bro vets again. So
But that's the thing too. I mean, I want to add to that. It's like, that's another thing we need to stop. And that's why I do my suicide prevention lives and I go live with people, is because I'm not just saying that, some of the veteran community is toxic. I am actually setting the example and saying, hey, listen, I have my tendencies and my issues too, but let's work through them together. Let's talk together on a daily basis and get through it and come out more elevated, because there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, you suck, or you're not, this, or you're not an operator, or you were just a cook and stuff like that, instead of like elevating them to another level and be like, yo, Topher and TMR is winning right now. Every person in the veteran community should get behind them because they represent us. That's how it should be. Wow, Jess has a podcast. Let's get it. Let's support that. Let's share her podcast. Let's do something. Let's give her a like. Let's help her out. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like needs to happen. Like, we need to get behind each other and keep pushing each other forward instead of complaining, because we are the first ones. The veteran community is the first ones to be like, oh man, I can't believe Tommy killed himself last night. Did you think that we probably weren't as nice as we could have been to Tommy? Like, Did we reach out? Did we call him? Did we find out if he's okay? But he was out at somewhere austere and he felt alone. You know what I mean? And that's just like one of the examples. And so like I know that there's certain flaws that we can do better in. So that's why, you know, I have the suicide prevention live. That's why I connect with Topher. I talk to Topher every day. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I connect
y'all
with
are
Topher.
buddies.
Yeah, no, we're buddies. We talk every day. I flew to Mississippi just to see the guy, just to sign CDs. Like, you know what I mean? So like we do stuff like that. And that is taking care of your buddy. That is got your six. That is suicide prevention. We don't have to announce it. We just do it. You know what I mean? You know, the camaraderie, that is the stuff that prevents suicide. That is the stuff that keeps the community going. So these are things that we all need to think about. And I feel like if we find our like little niche, our own little thing, our own little calling, whether it's podcast, music, working at Taco Bell or oil rigging, we'll all be better people in a better place.
Yeah, if we continue to amplify each other. I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because earlier we discussed how, you know, whether you as a person can be insecure or veterans can be just very hateful and jealous with each other. It's so easy to support your local creator or artist or podcaster or whoever. It's a like, it's a share, it's a comment, it's a suggestion, it's a review, it's posting it on your Instagram. Like story, which takes 1 second, but it's like, hey man, like you said, y'all are winning, the veteran community is winning. Like, look at these two dudes doing it independently, like just grinding, hustling, working their butt off, and they made it to #1, and y'all made it again. Like y'all called the community to help you out. It's like, hey, I know y'all are here. You know, sometimes you have those silent silent watchers, but you're just like, hey man, like we need your support. And that's where you built that camaraderie and you built that community, and you're changing the perspective. You're making it more positive, because again, yeah, we can throw shade and we can talk smack all we want. We're really good at that, but that's not going to bring anything good. That's not going to like bring us results or anything like I guess like productive from that. Yep. So I guess like what I want to ask you guys now is like, what's next for you?
Well, so I have an album coming out February 19th called No Apologies. So that's, it's going to be some songs on there that's just, I'm not apologizing for it. I'm going to say it, whether it hurts your feelings or not, hashtag facts over feelings. So it is what it is. I've been doing that anyway for the last year. And I just think it's high time that we stand up for something, just stand up. We got to be countercultural. And that's my whole approach going forward. And I'm looking for that to go #1 on, rap charts on iTunes. I'm looking for that to hit the Billboard top 200. I'm looking for more success to come in the future, right? Because we're creating more patriotic, more country loving, more God fearing people every time, we step on the mic. I just released a single today called, Circle Back, technically making fun of Jen Psaki.
Okay. I got to listen to that.
It's not bad. Just a fun song, but it's those type of things that, we can show that to me as a guy that doesn't curse, that we can make really dope, high quality sounding music that's fun, that's entertaining, without having to, see people like Cardi B, who's half naked and always doing all kind of crazy stuff in her videos and talking about nothing. It's like there's much more to culture. And I feel like when people get mad about stereotypes, I'm like, you're the one who's feeding into it. Like the ones who's defeating the stereotypes are people like me that you don't like people who's actually at home, who's married, who's not out partying every weekend, who's not smoking weed, who's taking care of his family, that's, starting his own business. Like, y'all don't like people like me. But any other time, y'all be like, oh yeah, let's go play some Young Thug or Uzi Vert or somebody that's talking about, depression, suicide, and everything else, killing their buddies. And I'm just like, how are they being uplifted, but we're being, suppressed? And I'm just like, this is crazy. So my goal is this next year, 2021, is just to take it by storm. I want the world to know my name, period. The world, and I feel like we're on a good trajectory right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think Topher, when I listened to you say that, and earlier with Ray, I think that reminds me of a lyric in one of y'all's in the Patriot. It's just like, I don't care. Like it, sorry, it's not gonna be the perfect, but it's like, it's gonna be controversial. You might not like it, but it's the truth, and it's the uncomfortable truth. And that's what we kind of need to be talking about. because I mean, long story short, I don't need to tell y'all about the history of rap and how it's like come and like it's ebbed and flowed and her ass cheeks and whatever, but there's so much more to that. So it's like if she can get famous for rapping about nonsense and booty cheeks and whatever, then you can make it, absolutely, and you are on your way because you're doing everything but that. And I think that should set you aside, and more people should want to do that. However, I don't necessarily think it's about being woke or not, but I think some folks don't realize that they are feeding into a really negative and harmful culture. Like I don't really listen to a lot of modern rappers these days, like Lil Uzi Vert or like XXX, whatever. I don't know. All I know is that they're like talking about abusing drugs, lean. Like I get it, but after so many deaths and how harmful it's been to y'all's community.
Exactly.
I think we've had enough. So I'll listen to my NWA, I'll listen to my Easy, I gotta have my Biggie, like Wu-Tang, but that was that era. And then we saw how much damage occurred within the past 20 years. And so I just really appreciate you, Topher and Ray, just, you know, just something different, something better. And I think whether that legacy is for yourself within your own family, within your own unit, or the people around you, the people that are creating around you, you're really making waves. And I think that's what also needs to be highlighted and appreciated. So I think y'all are awesome. I'm super excited. February 19th, no apologies, I'm ready. How can I prepare? Like is there like a email list that'll like tell me when it drops, or like how do I get my hands on this?
Super simple, right? So just make sure you follow me on social media at Tophertown Music, TOPHERTOWN Music. So make sure you follow me there. And also I will have the release date on my website, which is tophertown.com, for anybody that's listening that wants to keep an eye out for that. But trust me, the streets are talking and you will know about it.
Appreciate y'all keeping me in the loop. Is there anything that you wanted to add, Ray?
Yeah, no, if you don't hear about it, I'll definitely just DM it to you. No, but Topher basically covered everything. I just want to let everybody know the culture war starts on the 12th of February. Small interactions or big interactions, and we're just making history every day. But the culture war, that's the name of my album.
Culture war.
So okay. Culture War. And then, I have merch out already. It's called Culture War Veteran, and you could support.
Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw the hats. Oh my gosh.
It's a total onion. It's like a experience type of thing that's gonna happen and go down. But just know the surprise is gonna happen on the 12th of February, and you're gonna check it out. But it just that album is going to detail like the feelings and the thoughts of like what we had to go through and battle the culture just to battle to the top of #1 on Billboard, me and Topher. So that's what that album's about. But yeah, that's what I got going on. If you want to follow me, you can follow me everywhere at The Marine Rapper. My website is themarinerapper.com. Make sure you stop on themarinerapper.com to pick up some merch and some records and stuff like that, because that does benefit Topher as well. So you're going to be benefiting me and Topher when you do that. So you're going to be also supporting independent artists, as well as just setting a good example and sealing the deal when it comes to promoting independent artists that come from the military. So
no. Okay, you said Black History every day, supporting your creators and independent artists every day. Like, just that's I think what I wanted to end with.
And we want to say though, there's a thing though. They keep talking about supporting Black creators. Like, which ones?
Okay.
Elevating Black elevating Black voices. Which ones? Black Lives Matter. Which ones?
So all of them.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Like yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which ones?
Sorry. I didn't know if you wanted me to be specific. Like, what are you talking about? TMR, Topher.
No,
there you go.
No,
Andrew
it's not on you.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
it was just you're opening up that discussion for society. It's like, okay.
Exactly. I was being facetious on that because it seems like that they say elevate Black voices. They say support Black creators. They say support Black businesses. Last time I checked, me and Topher are Black businesses, we're voices, and we're creators. Yeah. So it's time to start elevating us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I remember at one point you were we were talking about that, and then nothing was happening within the own veteran community. And we're just like, I don't know. Let me put in some like audio cricket noises. Like, okay, we're here. What's up? But yeah, you're making it happen. You're bulldozing. I'm just Topher. It was amazing to meet you. So.
And I really appreciate that too. And it means a lot, like when you have somebody outside of your community